In today's video, I'll be comparing every single limited unit from the oldest one, the Soaring starfish, to even the brand new lionfish to see which one is best in SpongeBob Tower Defense. In order to make this test as fair as possible, we'll have every single one be max level and it'll have secret formula on it. So make sure you watch this to the end to see which one wins. And without any more waiting, let's just start with the oldest one, the Soaring starfish. So let's bring our Krusty Krab for every single game, and obviously the brand new Soaring starfish right here. And let's just see exactly how far this limited unit can get us on Endless Mode A right now. Here we go. And obviously for all 5 of these games, we'll make sure to fully auto skip the entire time on 5 times game speed. And since basically every single one has the exact same amount of cost, we'll pretty much do the exact same start for every single round too. Now that it's skipped to wave 4 though, we'll definitely place it down over this way just to take care of all the early game stuff that's getting super far at the moment. And by wave 5 we maxed out one of our farms, and by wave 6 we maxed out the other one. And since we didn't take any early game damage, we can already start by maxing out, but already on level 0 is doing 7,092 damage. It has a 0.8 second cooldown and then 48 range. Now we can already get it to level 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally level 5. Yeah, Wimix does 14,184 damage, adds a 0.6 second cooldown, and then 64 range. Now that we already have one maxed out though, we can definitely instantly max out the second one right over this way, since these are definitely the best possible spots to place them. And since it's a limited unit, you can only place 2 at once, so now we might as well just see exactly how far we can get. I mean, we're already 3 waves away from wave 20, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. We already have to defeat our first boss of the video. There's our first smallest dirty bubble getting right here, and boom, now we made it to wave 20. Also, before we commentate anymore, let's figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So if we pull out a calculator just like that, and we do 184 divided by that 0.6 second cooldown, they're doing roughly 23,640 damage a second. And since we have 2 plates, that's almost 50,000 damage. Yeah, 47,280 damage a second. Not too bad. Yeah, now we already made it to wave 30 though, so we already skipped 2 more sets of waves, which is crazy cool. But on wave 34, we have another small dirty bubble dying right here with only 5,000 health. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 40 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there goes our first medium-sized dirty bubble right here too, and nice. Now we officially made it to wave 40. On wave 43 is when our first giant dirty bubble spawns in that will be commentated over, so I guess I'll just see you guys in 2 waves for now. Yeah, boom, there we go. We made it to wave 43. There's the giant one spawning in with 11,000 health, already making it right here, but luckily we were still able to take it out fairly easily. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 50, and 2 waves away, and there goes our first small dirty bubble to reach over 5,000 health over this way, but now we're only 1 wave away from wave 50. And boom, now we made it past wave 50. Wave 53 is when our next medium-sized one spawned in with 7,465 health, dying right in between the Krusty Krab. But now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 60, but on wave 57, like I just skipped there, we do have another giant dirty bubble boss spawning in. So yeah, there it is with 14,101 health, just dying over here this time. Not too bad. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 60 though, 1 wave away, and boom, now we also made it to wave 60. There goes another small dirty bubble right here, and by wave 67, we have another medium-sized spawning in with almost 9,000 health dying right this way, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 70, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 70. On wave 71, we have another medium-sized one dying right over here. But wait, hold up, never mind. That was actually the giant one spawning in. Yeah, this one died over this way. By wave 77, we had another smaller one instantly die over this way though. But boom, now we also made it past wave 80. There goes another medium-sized one finally reaching over 10,000 health over here though. But on wave 86, we have another giant one spawning in. So yeah, here's this one with 20,000 health, this time dying right here. Yeah, yet again, it's a super easy boss to defeat, and now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 90, meaning we're about to make it to wave 100. As now we're only 2 waves away from wave 90, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it there too. There goes our final small dirty bubble with over 10,000 health before we make it to wave 100. As well as our final giant, or I guess medium-sized dirty bubble before we make it to wave 100. As now we're only 5 waves away from wave 100 and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, finally at last we officially made it to wave 100 on the dot as soon as we take out that final giant dirty bubble, this time dying right here, just like so. Yeah, so far so good. Really not many enemies have made it much past this Patrick's house over here, which is definitely a solid start. So I think we're pretty much guaranteed to at least make it to wave 200, if not maybe even wave 300. We'll see though, because on wave 104 we have our first medium, or I guess smaller dirty bubble that's spawning with over 12,000 health. And on wave 109 we have a medium-sized one spawning in with over 15,000 health dying right here. Now we made it to wave 110 though, and on wave 113 is when our next giant one spawns in, so I see you guys in 3 waves once again. So there we go, it skipped to wave 113, this time what, the 30,000 health one died right here. So that is easily the new record for how far an enemy has made it so far. Anyway, now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 120, and 2 waves away, and there goes our final small dirty bubble before we make it to wave 120, is now we're only 1 wave away from wave 120, and bang, now we also made it to wave 120. On wave 123, there goes another medium-sized one right here, but now we're only 3 waves away from wave 130, and on wave 127, we have our first giant dirty bubble to reach 35,000 health dying right this way this time. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130 though, so we're definitely gonna be good to make it there, as now we're only 1 wave away. And boom, just like that, we made it to wave 130 on the dot. Here comes another small dirty bubble with 17,000 health this time dying right here, as well as the second medium-sized one dying over this way with 22,000 health. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 140, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we made it to wave 140 on the dot. On wave 141, here comes another giant one with 42,000 health this time, and this one's gonna make it even further right on the intersection. Yeah, every single time the giant one spawns in at this point, it just continuously makes it further and further, which honestly makes me a little bit nervous that we might not be able to make it to wave 200. Luckily, still at this point, even these small dirty balls don't really make it too far at all, still dying right over here with 20,000 health. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 150, meaning we're about to be halfway from wave 100 to wave 200. Now we're 2 waves away and 1 wave away, and boom, now we are officially halfway to wave 200. There goes another medium-sized one with 26,000 health right here though, as well as another giant one spawning in with 50,000 health this time dying right here. Just like that though, now we made it to wave 160, but then another small dirty bubble almost reaching 25,000 health dying right this way. But on wave 165, we have another medium-sized one spawning in with 32,000 health dying right this way. Now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 170, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, on wave 169, here comes another giant one with 60,000 health this time, and this time it's gonna die all the way over here. Luckily, just barely, we obviously were able to take out that one, but now we made it to wave 170. On wave 174, we have a smaller one die right here with 30,000 health, and on wave 179, we have a medium-sized one spawning in with 38,000 health, this time dying right here. Now we officially made it to wave 180, but on wave 183, we have another giant one reaching 72,000 health, and wow, okay, this one made it right here this time. Yeah, that is giant progress from last time all the way over this way. We should still be good to make it to wave 200 though, considering it really hasn't made it that far at all. But now we're 3 waves away from wave 190, and 2 waves away, and there goes another smaller one with 35,000 health right here, but now we're only 1 wave away from wave 190, and boom, now we made it to wave 190. On wave 193, we have another giant one, or I guess no, that was a medium-sized one finally making it to the intersection, but now we're 5 waves away from wave 200, and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, and here comes another giant one spawning in with 87,000 health, and this one's gonna make it even further than that one, this time all the way over this way. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 200, 1 wave away, and boom, somehow, someway, we ended up making it to wave 200 with the first ever limited unit. I'll take it. We're not gonna stop there though. Now we need to try to make it to wave 300, even though we have another small dirty bubble reaching 43,000 health, and even these small dirty bubbles making it right here. And on wave 207, we have a medium-sized one with 55,000 health dying over this way, but now we're 2 waves away from wave 210, 1 wave away, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 210. On wave 211, we have another giant one reaching over 100,000 health for the first time ever. And let's see, wow, this one still has max health and finally starting to take damage all the way over this way, and this time it's gonna die right about here. Yeah, that is over double as far as it made it last time, so there's literally no shot we're ever gonna be able to make it to wave 300. I'm so confident. On wave 216, here comes another smaller one with 51,000 health finally making it to the intersection. And on wave 221, we have another medium-sized one with 66,000 health dying right here. This time on wave 225, we have another one reaching 125,000 health, but look how far even these normal enemies are starting to make it. Yeah, I think this might be the first time we actually start ending up taking damage, because yeah, it's not even getting targeted until all the way over here. But actually, wait, hold up. I think we are still gonna be good to get it, but this time it's gonna die right over this way, right over here. Wow. Yeah, no shot we make it to wave 300. We're definitely going to be able to make it to at least wave 250, but not much past that, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 230. There goes another smaller one with still 62,000 health, not really making it too far over here. And we already defeated the next medium-sized one, but now enemies are making it back over this way. Yeah, on wave 239, we have another giant one reaching 150,000 health. Now let's see how far this one ends up getting this time around, even though it's not going to get targeted for even longer. Yeah, let's see. Finally, the last big slow anchovy is going to die even further than last time, right around where the giant dirty bubble died last time around. But here we go, with 150,000 health on it this time around, it might actually get to the end. Wait, hold up. Oh my goodness, yo, this up, wow, we defeated it right here. Yeah, finally at last, we already did end up passing wave 240, and on wave 244, we have another smaller one with 74,000 health, and this one's going to die right here. And on wave 249, we have another medium-sized one almost reaching 100,000 health. And dang, even this one's going to make it extremely far all the way over this way right over here. Now we at least passed wave 250, which was definitely one of our goals. But here comes our next giant one, reaching 181,000 health, and we still have normal enemies making it over this way. So wait, hold on, we might not even end up losing due to the giant dirty bubble. Wait, yeah, we might even just end up dying normally. That's crazy. Yeah, let's see, we should still be able to take out at least one big slow anchovy, but I think we're dead regardless. Yeah, no way, just like that, now we're down to 50 health and 0 health right after that. Wow. Yeah, not too bad though. 252 waves beaten with the most OG Soaring starfish. I'll honestly take that. Now let's head back to the lobby once more. Before we move on to the next round though, we definitely need to update the leaderboard and I guess start the leaderboard. So right now we have the Soaring starfish in first place with 252 waves beaten. Second up on the list is actually the second ever limited unit in this game ever to be released, and this one's actually the limited Easter Bunny SpongeBob. Yeah, so let's unequip the Soaring starfish and re-equip the Easter Bunny SpongeBob, but unfortunately we only have it to level 50. It's not quite having secret formula on it. So I guess we can just add secret formula on it real quick with the few trade rerolls we have left. Yeah, I'll probably have to end up wasting some of my chests just to get a few extra ones, but let's see how quickly we can get it. Hopefully we can get it with the last bit that we have right now. So let's see, come on, give me secret formula, please, please, please. All I care about is secret formula right now. Come on, no way I don't get it. Okay, there we go, nice. Yeah, with around 27 golden trade rolls, we got one with secret formula, so now let's move on to unit number 2 once more. Here we go on the exact same map again. Let's do this. Yeah, yet again, we'll do the exact same start that we did last time by farming as much money as possible to place it down since it costs 1,500 coins. So here we go. As soon as this skips one more time, I think we'll end up getting enough, and yeah, there we go. We'll place it over this way for now just to max out the rest of our farms. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like this unit doesn't have as much range as the other one had, which kind of sucks, but either way, by wave 6, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to max ourselves out just like that. And now we can place to max the other one probably right over this way just to see how much range it gets when fully maxed out. Okay, only 40. Yeah, I suppose because of that, we'll place it right over here, but when maxed out, oh man, that's not even a great spot. Hold on. Maybe right this way is the perfect spot? Okay, this will just have to do. Yeah, on level maxed out, it's doing 7,700 damage as 0.3 second cooldown and then 40 range on it. Now we can definitely sell the other one to replace it in the very front over here. That way we can start maxing out this one too right away, just like so. And now let's figure out exactly how much damage we're doing in a second. So yeah, if we put a calculator yet again and we do 7,700 divided by that 0.3 second cooldown, we're looking at roughly 25,000 damage a second. Times that by 2 because that's how much range, or not, that's how many we have placed. We're doing roughly 51,000 damage a second. So it is definitely slightly better damage-wise than the Soaring starfish. It just doesn't cover nearly as much range, which definitely makes me a little bit concerned that we won't be able to make it as far, but I guess only time will tell. By wave 29, we already have our first giant one reaching over here, which is definitely not a good sign, but at least we made it to wave 30, so far so good. On wave 34, we have our first small dirty bubble instantly dying right here. And on wave 39, we have another medium-sized one dying right this way. Now we've officially made it to wave 40. And on wave 43, we obviously do have the giant dirty bubble spawning in. So yeah, there it is right then and there. 11,000 health on it, this time dying over this way. Yeah, yikes. Already it's starting to make some progress, bro. I don't really expect to get much past wave 200, but you never know. Either way though, now we're 3 waves away from wave 4. Oh wait, no, wave 50. And now we're 2 waves away now that we have another medium-sized dirty bubble. Or I guess there's another smaller one dying right here. And now we're only 1 wave away from wave 50. And boom, now we made it to wave 50. Here comes another medium-sized one with 7,000 health dying right this way. And on wave 57, we have another giant one spawning in with 14,000 health dying over here. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 60 though. 1 wave away. And boom, now we officially made it to wave 60 on the dot. On wave 62, here comes another smaller one dying over here though. As well as on wave 67, meaning we're 3 waves away from wave 70, we had another medium-sized one with almost 9,000 health die right here. Now we're 2 waves away though. 1 wave away. And boom, we officially made it to wave 70 on the dot. On wave 71, we have another medium-sized one with 17,000 health die right here. And on wave 76, we have a smaller one dying right this way. By wave 81, we have another medium-sized one dying right here, and now we already passed wave 80. And on wave 85, we have a giant one dying right here. Now we officially made it to wave 90 though, and actually on wave 90, on the dot, here comes another smaller one spawning in with 10,000 health, this time dying right this way. And now we're officially 5 waves away from wave 100, and here comes another medium-sized one with almost 13,000 health, still dying right here. Now we're 4 waves away though, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially are about to make it to wave 100. There goes our final giant one before we make it to wave 100, so there we go. It skipped to wave 100. On wave 104, here comes another smaller one dying right here with 12,000 health. And on wave 109, we have another medium-sized one with 15,000 health dying right here. But boom, now we made it to wave 110. On wave 113, here comes another giant one with 29,000 health, already making it right here though. Which, I mean, look at that progress. Already by wave 114 is definitely not great. Now we're finally 3 waves away from wave 120 though, and now we're only 2 waves away now that we have another smaller one with 15,000 health right here, but now we're 1 wave away from wave 120. And boom, now we made it to wave 120. On wave 123, here comes another medium-sized one with 18.5 thousand health right this. As well as another giant one spawning in with 35,000, I'll die right here. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 130 though, and 2 waves away. 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 130 on the dot. Here comes another smaller one with 17,000 health, already starting to make some progress too. As well as another medium-sized one spawning in when we only have 3 waves away from wave 140. Now we're 2 waves away though, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 140. On wave 141 is when another giant one spawns in, this one finally reaching over 42,000 health, and this one's gonna make it extremely far right over here. On wave 146, we had another smaller one die right here, and now we're only 3 waves away from wave 150, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 150 on the dot. Here comes another medium-sized one spawning with 26,000, I'll die right here. As well as another giant one spawning in with 50,000, I'll die over this way this time. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 160 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, nice. Now we made it to wave 160, and on wave 160, here comes another smaller one with almost 25,000 health, as well as another medium-sized one with 32,000 health on wave 165 dying right here. But boom, now we're 3 waves away from wave 170, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, nice. Now we finally made it to wave 170 as soon as we take out this next one with 60,000 dying right here. There we go, it skipped. Yeah, well, I'm honestly a little bit surprised. I didn't expect to already basically almost make it to wave 200 with the enemies still not even making it to the intersection. But either way, by wave 160 or 174, we had another smaller one die right here, as well as another medium-sized one spawning in on wave 179 dying right this way. Now we officially made it to wave 180 though, and on wave 183, here comes another giant one finally reaching the intersection. So I guess I might have spoken a little bit too soon. Either way, we still were able to take it out, which at the end of the day is all that really matters. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 190 though, and now that we're 2 waves away, here comes our next smaller one with 35,000, I'll die right here. Now we're 1 wave away from wave 190, and boom, now we made it to wave 190. Here comes another medium-sized one with 46,000 on wave 193 dying in front of Patrick's house. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 200. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away. There comes another giant one with 87,000 now that we're 3 waves away. This time dying right here. And now we're only 2 waves away. 1 wave away. And bang. Now we officially made it to wave 200. On wave 203, we had another smaller one die right here though, as well as another medium-sized one spawning in with 55,000 all dying right this way. Now we officially made it to wave 210, and actually on wave 211 is when the next giant one spawns in. So yeah, there we go, spawned in, finally reaching over 100,000, and this one's gonna make it even further than the last on this corner. At least for the most part, we are still able to take care of every single one that does spawn in. But even on wave 216, we have another smaller one with 51,000 all die right here. At least now we officially made it to wave 220 on the dot. And on wave 221, we have another medium-sized one spawning with 66,000 health, as well as another giant one spawning with 125,000 health, and this one's gonna make it easily past the corner, this time to this corner. Yeah, wow, it's honestly gonna be close whether or not this one does better than the last one. I feel like it has a shot of doing better somehow. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 230 right then and there. And in fact, yeah, here comes another smaller one with 60,000 all dying right here, as well as another giant one, or I guess no, a medium-sized one with almost 80,000 finally passing the intersection. On wave 239, we have another giant one spawning in with 150,000 health, and this one's gonna die all the way over this way right here. But boom, now we made it to wave 240. On wave 244, here comes another smaller one with 74,000 health, almost making it to the intersection. And on wave 249, we have another giant one, or I guess a medium-sized one, making it with 95,000 health over this way. But boom, now we passed wave 250, and actually this is the wave that we lost to last time. So as long as we're able to take out this giant dirty bubble right here, it's definitely safe to say that so far the Easter Bunny SpongeBob is slightly better. Yeah, let's see, finally starting to get mainly targeted over this way, and yeah, it looks like we are just barely going to be able to take it out over here. Wow. Yeah, that's honestly surprising. I didn't expect to be able to take it out. I guess this is officially the new number 1 though, and now we need to figure out exactly how much better it truly is. Bomb wave 258, here comes another smaller one with 90,000 health, finally passing the intersection. And on wave 263, we have another medium-sized one spawning with 115,000 health, dying right here. On wave 267, here comes another giant one, finally reaching 217,000 health. And yeah, it's not even going to get targeted for the longest time ever. Even the big, wait, hold on, oh my goodness, I thought the big slow and choke was actually going to pass for a second. But yeah, well, even the giant dirty bubble is finally going to get on by for the first time ever. So I think the next one to spawn in will be the one that actually kills us. Yeah, this time now we're down to 65 health. And now I think I'll just see you guys once this spawns in. So, yep, here we go. On wave 281, there's the giant one with 260,000 health. And this one is 100% gonna get on by. Even these two big slow jibbies are also gonna get on by, or at least this one will. Yeah, with around 60,000 health on Estella, and if this gets on by, we are officially dead here. Wow. Yep, there we go. We're officially down to 15 health, and just like that, we lose in 3, 2, 1. Yep, 280 waves beaten that time. Slight improvement, so we'll take it. Yeah, here's the new leaderboard. Now we have the Easter Bunny SpongeBob in first place with 280 waves beaten, and right behind it in second, we have the Soaring starfish with 252. The third limited unit to ever be added into the game was actually probably arguably one of the best ones, and that of which is the Olympian SpongeBob. Yeah, if you guys did not watch this video right here, if I remember to pop it on the screen, it's basically a video where I got on the leaderboard secretly on a few accounts. In that video, we were able to get multiple Olympian and SpongeBobs, and I actually ended up trading one over to my main account, and as of right now, it is level 1. So now we just need to level up all the way to max level ASAP, starting by feeding it with all, what are we gonna feed it with? Yeah, let's just feed it up with as many jelly patties as it's gonna take. So yeah, let's turn on our auto clicker right here and set it to 1 milliseconds. And yeah, let's see how much food it'll take. Let's start auto-clicking, so there's level 10, 20, and 30, as well as 40. And finally, just like that, after 1,000,000 XP is added, we got it to level 50. Nice. All that's left to do now is unequip the Easter Bunny SpongeBob, since we don't really need that one anymore, and instead we're gonna re-equip, where is it, the Olympian SpongeBob. So yeah, boom, there it is, equipped it, and now we just need to get in a secret formula just like last round. So yeah, let's go over here, put it in over this way, and please tell me we can get it within 27. Let's see, can we actually get lucky? Come on. Yeah, nice, okay, within 5, we'll take that. Yeah, there we go. Now we basically have this one fully maxed out, so now let's do unit number 3 once again. Here we go. Yeah, the same rules will follow as the last time, where we fully auto-skip the entire time and max out all of our farms. And since this one actually has a decent amount of range, I think we might be good to place it right about here in the start. It is fully AoE, which makes it extremely good. And now we can finally start maxing it out. So there's this level 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and finally level 5. Yeah, we maxed out does 19,800 damage, has a 0.6 second cooldown, and then 64 range on it. Yeah, that is really fairly solid, and it seems like we basically placed it in the exact perfect spot that we need to, even though, actually, hold on. We probably can place it right here instead, just to make it fit even more of the range area. So let's see, let's max it out just like so. And yeah, that is literally perfect. It literally reaches exactly where it needs to. And yeah, now let's just instantly max out our second one, and yep, we can place more than 2. And just like last time, let's read out exactly how much stats it's doing when maxed out. So yep, here's the calculator once again. And we do 19,800 divided by that 0.6 second cooldown, and this one's doing 33,000 damage. Times that by 2 to get 2 for them how many we have placed. And yeah, we're looking at roughly 66,000 damage a second, not to mention that they're full AoE. Yeah, with this unit, I fully expect to get to at least wave 400, if not higher. But I guess only time will tell. On wave 3 or on wave 34, we have our next smaller one dying over here though, and that's the first one of this round. And on wave 30 now we have another medium-sized one die over this way. Now we've officially made it to wave 40 on the dot. And on wave 43 we had a giant one instantly die over here too. On wave 48, we have another one dying over here, which is a smaller dirty bubble. And boom, now we already passed wave 50. There goes another medium-sized one with 53, or on wave 53 dying right here. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 1, or on wave 60, and we had another giant one die over here. Now we're 2 waves away though, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 60. On wave 62, there goes another smaller one over here, as well as another medium one with 9,000 health over this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 70 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 70. On wave 71, we have a giant one dying right here in the very front, as well as another smaller one dying in the very front too. Now we officially made it to wave 80, and on wave 81, we have another medium-sized one finally reaching 10,000 health, still dying in the front. And on wave 85, we had a giant one reaching over 20,000 health, also dying in the front. Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 90, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there we go. We officially made it on wave 90 on the dot. There goes the final small dirty bubble that we'll be commentating over, as well as the next medium-sized one spawning with 12,000 health dying over this way too. Now we're officially 3 waves away from wave 100 though, and 2 waves away, and 1 wave away. And boom, here we go. We have one final giant dirty bubble to defeat on this wave with 24,000 health, and this time it died right here. Nice. Now I think I'm done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles like I said. And now we'll stick to every single medium-sized one like that one right here. And every single time we make it past wave 110, 120, 130, etc. And every single time we have a giant dirty bubble like this one right here with 29,000 health instantly dying in the very front. On wave 123, there goes another medium-sized one over here, and we already ended up passing wave 120. And now we're 3 waves away from wave 130. And we have another giant one spawning on this wave too with 35,000 health. Now we're only 2 waves away from wave 130 though. 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 130. On wave 137, we had another medium-sized one instantly die, and boom, now we made it past wave 140. On wave 141, we have another medium-sized one. I guess no, that was a giant one with 42,000 die over here. On wave 151, there goes another medium-sized one right here, as well as another giant one spawning with 50,000, finally making it right this way. Yeah, it's really not too far at all though, considering it's been 150 waves and it really only made it this much for this. That's really not bad at all. At least now we finally made it to wave 160 though, and another medium-sized one died over here. On wave 169 is when another giant one spawns in, this time with 60,000 health, also dying right here, but now we made it to wave 170. On wave 178 is when another that was a medium-sized one died right here, but boom, now we made it to wave 180. On wave 183 is when another giant one spawned in, and this one died over here though. At least now we passed wave 190, and actually on wave 193 is when another medium-sized one spawned in with 46,000 health. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 200. And now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away. 2 waves away. Oh, never mind. Here comes another giant one with 87,000 health. And now we're 2 waves away. And 1 wave away. And boom. Somehow, someway, we ended up making it to wave 200 with literally no problems whatsoever. Yeah, because of that, I think we're done commentating still over every single small dirty bubble that spawns in like that one right here. As well as every single medium-sized dirty bubble like that one there too. At least now we made it past wave 210. And on wave 211 is when another giant one spawns in, and let's see how far this one can get. Yep, there it is with 140,000 health, this time dying right here once more. Yeah, wow, even the giant dirty bubble is finally starting to make some progress at last over 211 waves of trying to make it far. At least now we made it past wave 220, but finally on wave 225 we have another giant one with 125,000 health dying right this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 230 though, so we should still be good to at least make it to wave 250, 300, and maybe even 400 if we're lucky, as now we're 2 waves away from wave 230. 1 wave away, and boom, now we officially made it to wave 230 on the dot. And on wave 230 now we have another giant one spawning with 150,000, and this one's gonna die right in front of Patrick's house. At least now we made it to wave 250, or not wave 250, 240, but now we made it to wave 250. On wave 253 is when another giant one spawned with 181,000, finally making it to the intersection, and that's where the Soaring starfish made it. At least now we made it past wave 260 though, and on wave 267, now we're 3 waves away from wave 270, and we have another giant one spawning with over 200,000, this time dying a little bit past Squidward's house. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 270 though, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 270. As well as wave 280. 281 is when another one spawns in with 260,000 health, and this one's gonna make it even further than that one all the way to this corner. Yeah, like I said, we will be good to make it to wave 300. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to make it to wave 400 though, but at least now we can definitely say that this is officially the new number 1. Now we made it past past wave 290. And finally, by wave 295, we have our first one to reach over 300,000 health, and this one it's gonna get over here. But now we're 5 waves away from wave 300, and now we're only 4 waves away. And 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we officially made it to wave 300 on the dot. Finally, by wave 309, we have another one spawning in with 375,000 health, and this one's gonna make it all the way past this corner, all the way right here. At least now we made it to wave 310, as well as wave 320. By wave 322, I'm pretty sure is when our next giant one spawns in. Oh, never mind, it'll be for wave 323, so yeah, there it is right then and there. Yeah, 455,000 health this time is gonna be fairly easy to get, as this time it's not gonna really make it much past this corner, this time dying right here. Yeah, I genuinely think wave 400 is gonna be possible. I mean, I'm already 3 waves away from wave 330, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it past wave 330. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 340, and we have another giant one finally reaching 540,000 health. And this might be the first one to finally pass the intersection. Let's see, will it be? And oh, it will, just barely right over here this time. Now we're 2 waves away from wave 340 though, and 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 340, as well as wave 350. By wave 351, we have our first one to reach over 648,000 health. And my guess is that this one's gonna die right over here. Let's see, am I correct? Come on, come on, come on. Oh, okay, a little bit further right over here this time. At least now we made it to wave 360, as well as wave 365. We have another giant one reaching 778,000 health. Yeah, this one is easily gonna make it past this corner. My guess making it probably all the way over here, but let's see. Yep, there we go, past the corner, and okay, I was basically right. This time it died right here. We might just barely be able to make it to wave 400 though, as now we're 3 waves away from wave 370, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 370 on the dot. And finally, by wave 379, we have another one spawning with almost 1,000,000 health on it. Even those big slow anchovies were making it back here. But let's see, even this giant dirty ball might even be able to make it to this corner this time. Let's see, will it be able to? Will it be able to? Oh no, it died on the corner. Wow. At least now we made it to wave 380, as well as wave 390. Here we go though, on this wave we do have another giant one spawning in actually on wave 391. Or maybe it's wave 393, I honestly lost track. Yeah, it seems to be wave 393 is when it spawns in, so yep, here we go in 3, 2, 1, and yep, there it is. 1.1 million health on the clock, and now we finally got it below 1,000,000 health. 500,000 over here, 300,000 over this way, 200,000 where it died last time, 100,000 over here, and yep, just barely we took it out all the way over here. Wow, that was close. Yeah, though, that means we're pretty much guaranteed to make it to wave 500, or at least wave 400, as now we're 5 waves away from wave 400. And now we're only 4 waves away, and 3 waves away, 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, somehow, someway, we ended up making it to wave 400. Finally, by wave 407, though, we have one with 1.3 million health. And yeah, either this one's gonna die all the way on this corner right here, or it's gonna be the first one to actually make us take damage. Yeah, finally, at last, we got it down to 500,000 health over here, 300,000 health on this corner, 200 on that one, 100 over here, and yeah, this one died right over this way. Dang, okay, yeah, for sure the next one is gonna make us take damage. At least now we finally made it to wave 410 though, as well as wave 420. On wave 421 is when another giant one spawned in with 1.6 million health. And dang, even the big slow anchovies are even able to make it all the way over here. Yeah, we are so dead. Finally, last we got it below 1,000,000 health, 500k, 400, 300, 200, but it's just not enough. Yeah, finally for the first time ever we took damage, so now we're down to 65 health. I'll just see you guys once the second one spawns in. That's gonna make us take it down to 30 health though. See you guys soon. On wave 435, we have another one spawning in, like I said would happen, and this one almost has 2 million health. And yet again we got it below 1.5 million health, 1 million all the way over here, and just barely it seems that we're gonna be able to get it below 500,000 health, but not much past that. Yep, now we're down to 30 health on our base. Yep, here we go. By wave 449, we have one final one spawning in, this one with 2.3 million health, and this one's pretty much just guaranteed to get on past. There's really no way we're gonna even be able to get close to taking it out, considering we even have big slow anchovies dying all the way over here. So yep, here we go. We got it below, just barely below 1,000,000 health, but not much past that. 449 is the wave to beat now, as now we have 448 waves beaten. That's crazy though. Getting nearly double the waves as any other unit we've tested out so far is insanely impressive. Yeah, here's the leaderboard though. Now we have the Olympian SpongeBob in first place with 448 waves beaten. Second place goes to the Easter Bunny SpongeBob with 280. And in dead last we have the Soaring starfish with 252 waves beaten. Second to last on the list is actually an exclusive, or I guess a limited unit that was recently added into the game. That of which is actually the secret agent. Yeah, here it is right here. We already have one that's level 50 luckily, and now we just need to add secret formula on into it. So let's see, hopefully we can get lucky with the, like, or however many rerolls we have. I'm pretty sure we're down to less than 25. Yeah, let's see, yeah, 22. Come on, tell me we can get it. Tell me we can actually get lucky. Come on, we only have 10 left. Oh no, come on, please, 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 please. No, 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 and no. Okay, well, we have 67 normal ones, so maybe we can get lucky somehow out of any of these. But dang it, now we're down to 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, and yep, wow, we didn't get a singular out of any of that. Let's see, let's claim all here, and let's see how many tree rolls that gave us. I'm pretty sure that actually gave us a good amount. Wow, yeah, 143 for free. Wait, hold up. Wait, nice. Okay, that actually gave us a lot. Let's try to get him once again. We should be able to get out of all 140 of these. I'll just see guys once we do end up getting it. Okay, nice. There we go. It took a little while to get, but with 94 left, we did end up getting it on our second to last unit. So yeah, let's equip the Agent Star right now, and let's just see exactly how far this unit can get on Endless Mode one more time again. Let's do it. Yep, you guys know the drill. We'll do the exact same thing that we did last time again. So there's the place by wave 4. The farms are going to be able to get maxed by wave 6. And now we can definitely fully focus on maxing out one of these guys right away. It seems like it is the line unit too, so where we place it is actually the most perfect spot to max it out. And yeah, when max out is doing a whopping 21,000 damage, it has a 0.5 second cooldown and then 56 range on. We don't even need to put it into the calculator. We can already tell that this is doing 42,000 damage a second. And if we place down our second right behind it just like that, we're doing 82,000 damage a second. Yeah, that is even more damage than the Olympian SpongeBob was able to do, but to be fair, it is only a line attack unit either way. And it has a little bit less range, so my guess is that we'll probably make it somewhere in between where the Easter Bunny SpongeBob got, as well as obviously in between where the Olympian SpongeBob got. My guess is that we'll probably get right around wave 330, maybe even a little bit higher, but you never know. We'll see. Either way though, by wave 20, we already took out our first easy boss of the video. By wave 25, we have our first medium-sized one with 5,000 health instantly dying right here. And on wave 29, we have our first giant dirty bubble of this round right then and there with only 9,700 health instantly dying right this way. But boom, now we already made it to wave 30. On wave 34, we have our first small dirty bubble making it all the way over this way this time. And now we're already 3 waves away from wave 40 and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, there goes our next medium-sized one, this time dying right here, and nice. Now we also made it to wave 40. On wave 43 though, we do have our next giant dirty bubble spawning in, and yeah, this one has a little bit over 10,000 health with 11,751 to be exact. And already by wave 47, we have our final giant dirty bubble, or I guess our final small dirty bubble spawning in with 5.8 thousand health that we're commentating over this round. Yeah, that's right. Now that we made it to wave 50, I think I'm done commentating over every single small dirty bubble that spawns in, and instead we'll only stick to every single medium-sized dirty bubble, like this one right here with 7,400 health dying right here, as well as every single giant dirty bubble spawning in like this one right here on wave 57. Yeah, now we're 3 waves away from wave 60, but here comes the giant one with 14,000 health dying right here. And now we're only 2 waves away from wave 60, 1 wave away, and boom, now we made it to wave 60. On wave 62, we have a smaller one dying over here, but oh wait, never mind, we are done commentating over those ones. No more talking about those. On wave 67 though, we have a medium-sized one dying right here, and now we're 3 waves away from wave 70, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 70. Here comes our next giant one with 16.9 thousand health dying right here, and now we already made it past wave 80. And on wave 81, we have a medium-sized one finally reaching over 10,000 health. On wave 85, we have our final giant dirty bubble before we make it right to wave 99, this time dying right here. And now we're only 3 waves away from wave 90, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 90 on the dot. Now we're only 5 waves away from wave 100 though, and there goes our final medium-sized dirty bubble that we're gonna commentate over this round. But now we're only 3 waves away from wave 100, 2 waves away, and finally 1 wave away. Yep, here comes our final giant dirty bubble before we make it to wave 100, this time with 24,000 health instantly dying right here. And nice, just like that, we finally reached 100 waves beaten. Now I think I'm definitely done commentating over all these small dirty bubbles that spawn in, as well as every single medium-sized one too now. Since, I mean, yeah, even the medium-sized ones aren't really making it that far at all. I mean, now we already made it to wave 110. And on wave 113, here comes our next giant one with 29,000 health, this time dying right here. But boom, now we already passed wave 120. On wave 123, oh, never mind, that was a medium-sized one. But on wave 127, we're 3 waves away from wave 130, and we had a giant one die right here. Now we're only 2 waves away though, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 130, as well as wave 140. On wave 141 is when our next giant one spawned in, and yeah, that one had around 41,000, and it instantly died right here still. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 150. On wave 151, there goes the, but okay, there you go. On wave 155 is when the giant one spawned in with 50,000, this time dying right this way. Now Now we're only 3 waves away from wave 160 though, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 160. On 169 is when our next giant one spawned, and this time was 60,000 health, still dying right here, but boom, now we made it past wave 170, as well as wave 180. On wave 183 is when another giant one spawned with 72,000 health, and this time we finally made it past the Krusty Krab. On wave 197 is when another giant one spawned, and this time with 87,000 health, also dying right here, but now we're 3 waves away from wave 200, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and bang, now we finally made it to wave 200. Now we already passed wave 210 though, and actually on wave 211 is when another giant one spawns and finally reaching over 100,000 health, this time dying right here. Now we made it past wave 220, and on wave 225 we have another giant one reaching 125,000 health, dying right this way. Now we're 3 waves away from wave 230, and 2 waves away, 1 wave away, and boom, now we finally made it to wave 230. On wave 239 is when another giant one spawned with 150,000 health, and this one died over here. At least now we finally made it to wave 240, so this is already getting close to where these Soaring starfish made it. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 250. On wave 253 is when another one spawned in, and this one didn't even started getting targeted until here, which is why it finally made it to this corner of the map. But boom, now we finally defeated the boss, and now this is definitely better than the Soaring starfish. On wave 267 is when our next one spawned and finally reaching over 200,000, dying a little bit earlier right here somehow. But boom, now we finally made it to wave 270, as well as wave 280. 281 is when our next giant one spawns in, and yeah, this one's gonna have almost 260,000 health. That's crazy. This time around though, it's gonna die pretty much in this corner right over here, which is basically where it died last time. At least now we made it to wave 290, and by wave 295 we have another giant one spawning in with 300,000 health, and this one's gonna make it extremely far. Yeah, wow, all the way right here. At least now we're 5 waves away from wave 300, and 4 waves away, 3 waves away, 2, 1, and bang, we officially made it to wave 300 on the dot. Yeah, now it's definitely safe to say that this is not only better than the Easter Bunny SpongeBob, but also the Soaring starfish, and we're coming up close to beating out the Olympian SpongeBob too. Actually, we're not really that close. We still have 448 waves to go if we want to be able to beat that. This time on wave 309, we have another one spawning with 375,000 health, and this one might actually be able to make it out of the intersection. Yeah, it will, right over here. Wow. At least now we made it to wave 310, as well as wave 320. This time on wave 323, we have another one spawning in with 450,000 health. And yeah, even the big slow anchovies are even making it all the way out of there. Yeah, this one might even be able to reach this corner. Wow, it will easily, and this time it's gonna die all the way over this way, right about here. Wow. Yeah, never mind. We are definitely not gonna be able to defeat that, the Olympian SpongeBob. No doubt about it. I guess we'll get close, but just not anywhere close enough. And on wave 337, we have another one spawning in with 540,000, and this one's gonna make it even further, all the way over this way, right about here. Yeah, I think the next one to spawn in definitely will kill us. And we hold up, it looks like, oh my gosh, yo, oh, whoa, I thought we were actually gonna take damage by wave 351. We might still. So yeah, it looks like finally at last here, we are definitely dead. There's no way we're gonna be able to take care of any of these big, slow anchovies. Yeah, that's the problem with line units, bro. They may do more TBS, it's just not enough to keep up with AoE units. We're down to 50 health because of that. Anyway, we did 0 damage, basically 0 damage to the dirty bubble boss. Yeah, 350 waves beaten with this limited. Yeah, before we move on to the final limited unit, we first have to update the leaderboard, and now we have the Olympian SpongeBob still in first place with 448 waves beaten. Second place is Secret Agent Star with 350. Third goes to the Easter Bunny SpongeBob with 280, and in dead last we have Soaring Starfish with 252 waves beaten. Finally, last up on the list, we definitely have to test out the brand new limited unit. You may have guessed it is obviously going to be the Lionfish. Yeah, unfortunately this unit actually is super expensive, super expensive to max out. I mean, yeah, if we look at how much food it costs to upgrade it, as you can see, it literally costs 7.8 million XP just to get it to level 47. And even if I had all of my XP, I can only upgrade it 2 levels, which is why we're going to keep it level 46 just for this round. I know, it's not quite level 50, but it's basically level 50. It really shouldn't make a big enough difference at all. So let's just see exactly how far it can get. Yeah, the same rules will follow as to every other round that we've done so far. And now that we have both of our farms fully maxed out, we can definitely max out the sea lion right over here. Yeah, alright, there it is, instantly maxed out, and when maxed out does 20,880 damage every 0.5 seconds and has 74 range on it. It does do splash plus burn damage too, which makes it even stronger. And yep, as you can see, it covers the entire map as well, which makes it even better. Yeah, that means we don't really even need to sell or replace them whatsoever. In fact, yeah, in total they're doing roughly 41,760 damage each, which adds up to over 83,000 damage a second. Yeah, that is crazy good. And honestly, for this round, I think we'll just auto skip and fully do a time lapse until we get to around wave 252, which is where the Soaring starfish died. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Here we go. Alright, boom. Finally, last we made it to wave 252 and 253, which is where the Soaring starfish boss spawned in. And yeah, there it is right there. And this time it's gonna die over this way. Yeah, we're basically still spawn killing even by wave 254, which is honestly kind of crazy. But now see you guys by wave 280 with the next limited unit that made it that far. Now we finally made it to wave 281, which is where the Easter Bunny SpongeBob died last time. And yeah, this boss only has 260,000 health, and this time it's gonna die right over here. But now let's just see you guys by wave 350, because that's where the secret agent star got to. Alright, finally last, we're coming up on wave 350, which is where obviously the last one got to, so hopefully we're able to beat the agent star. So yeah, boom, there we go. Skip to wave 350. The wave 351 boss will be spawning in any second now. But unfortunately, at this point, we're already down to 65 health, and I'm not so sure we're going to be able to take out all these enemies that are getting super far right now. Yeah, there's the boss with 648,000 health, but look how far these enemies are making it now too. Yeah, geez, this is going to be close, because we need to make sure we take out all three of the big slow anchovies, or else this isn't gonna just kind of the same exact wait, no way, is it actually going to? Wait, hold up, wait, no way. Well, wow, that's crazy. Well, there we go, 350 waves with this one too. Yeah, wow, I genuinely did not expect that. Here's the final leaderboard though. We have the Olympian SpongeBob still in first place with 448 waves beaten, tied for a second, and now we have the secret agent star and the lionfish with 350 waves. Fourth place goes to the Easter Bunny SpongeBob with 280, and in dead last we have the Soaring starfish with 252 waves beats it. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this longer video for sure. I definitely had fun recording it, but if you did, definitely make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as we're trying to 250, or not 250, but 25,000 subs on this channel by the end of the month. Yeah, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video very soon. Peace out, everybody.